What is going on, everybody? Jumbo Thick here, back with more Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay. This is our Rise of the Forsaken campaign. This is Warhammer Fantasy 4th Edition. I am, of course, Jumbo Thick. I will be your GM, your DM for the night. And I am joined by the unfortunate fellowship, comprised of Mr. Doobie209, Jumbo Smooth, and the infamous, the notorious, the smooth talker, Pierce Galactic. If you care to briefly introduce yourselves, boys, after that long intro.
Hello, everyone. I am Jumbo Smooth. I'll be playing the role of Marius Wolf this evening. I'm a strapping 28-year-old pit fighter champion.
Strapping.
I found out I'm a son of Ulrich, and I can transform into a werewolf. So it's pretty exciting, a white wolf, I'm missing an eye, werewolves are cooler than vampires, so
That's
cool.
Whoa.
It's pretty great,
I'm
excited to be here.
Yeah.
I'm excited to be here. Well, what's going on, everybody? It's Doobie209, and I play the one-armed Seamus McGreedy. His strong hand was decimated. The hands of a crab person. And I'm excited. I was informed that this is episode 69, so I'm excited.
It is.
I'm excited.
Session 69.
Super crit.
Enjoy it.
Perfect
Enjoy
for Slash,
very slash.
I guess that's my turn.
It is.
Here's Galactic, the infamous, the smooth talking, the devious, the cunning, the quite the badass lately. Hope we can maintain that this session. Player of Bragging Bono, just an artist, a writer, but he's got filled with so much angst. He can just swing the sword like a motherfucker.
Indeed he does. And speaking of swinging the sword like a... Yeah, anyways. Last we left off, the Fellowship had found themselves pursuing the Witch Hunter Cole and his entourage at the behest of the now dead Mother Inga. You moved to the Chamber of the Old Ones on... I can't pronounce it. Gehemensnacht, maybe? Gehemensnatched? It doesn't matter. Whatever. Very eerie, creepy holiday where more sleb surpasses mansleb and strange things were afoot. You made your way into the tunnel and were venturing deep inside when you were harried by the sounds of screaming, perhaps pleasure, who knows. You eventually came across a encampment of Kurgans, foul worshippers of, as we now know, Slaanesh, that had captured a contingent of men of the Empire, along with a few sisters of Shalia. Before anything else could befall these helpless individuals, the three of you intervened, slew the Kurgans, saving the men and rescuing the sisters. You then found out that the men were broken, shattered shells of their former selves after they suffered the not-so-delicate touch of their Kurgan captors. The sisters, however, were unspoiled, being saved for something special. After the rescue, you began moving forward, knowing that you could not go back. And you came across almost like a pool, a lake of purplish pink ichor of some kind, where it looks like the walls of this tunnel, which you've never seen destroyed before, or holes were apparently punched out of both sides, the masonry and whatever else is holding up this space tumbling into the tunnel itself, and this ichor pooling in the center from wall to wall. Knowing that something foul was afoot, as there was an odd odor coming from the fluid, Marius decided to investigate. And as he did so, he, Seamus, and the former broken men that Bragadine had rallied were all pulled with a unnatural libido into the fluid as demonettes of Slaanesh emerged from the Ichor and set about massacring the party. Seamus took some heavy blows, almost losing his arm in the process. It is not quite dismembered, but it is cut to the bone. This is a fatal injury on a normal man. Luckily, you can't feel anything right now because the sisters had cast a divine spell on the three of you, which allowed you to feel no pain and suffer no conditions mechanically. That spell is still in effect. Bragadine, ironically, was the only one to hold his faculties against the temptations of the flesh. And with his bravery, managed to free the rest of you, and you eventually turned the tides. Seamus was forced to undergo his transformation into his more wraith-like appearance, and in so doing, shocked the sisters, who ran in terror from him back the way he would come. Marius had made it out of the pool at this point and was chasing after them. And that is where we are going to pick up. So, Marius, I'm assuming you are chasing down these sisters. Correct?
Yes, that would be my probably main goal at this point.
Okay. As you are moving towards them, they are fleeing in terror. Do you call out? What do you do?
Yeah, I would. I'd definitely be running as fast as I can to try to catch up, and I'd be calling out as well. Please, don't run, sisters. And yeah, just trying to persuade them or catch them. Both,
All right.
One of the two.
Yeah. You were the closest one. Go ahead and give me a charm roll.
Okay.
And yes, before you ask, they do find you
they
attractive.
all find me attractive. Hell yeah, bro. That's fine, bro.
Nothing more attractive than one eye, bro.
Ooh, fuck. I rolled a 4 out
Oh,
of
God.
53.
Of course you did. Oh, shit. Okay. So here's what happens. You call out to them, tell them to stop, and they all kind of, and they stop fleeing. They were all somewhat together, and you're not actually that far from the lake itself. Within a few moments, Seamus, you would be shifting back, and you would be your normal self again. However, the divine touch of Shalia's mercy fades from all of you. And Seamus, do you have wounds currently?
Yeah, I got a lot of wounds, bro.
Okay. All right. You're not at 0?
Oh, no.
No. Okay, good. So you
roughly
immediately
like half.
begin feeling the intense pain from your arm. It's bad. It's real bad. And that might be a little concerning. But you and Bragadine can do as you please. At the moment, Marius is rounding up the sisters, and I'm assuming bringing them back, Marius?
Yeah, I'd be trying to calm them down and bringing them back to the rest of the party.
Yeah, and with that roll, you can easily do so, and they kind of get them calmed down, and after a few moments, they'll kind of catch their breath. and begin walking back with you. So, Seamus and Bragadine, are you leaving the pool, or are you venturing to the other side? What are you guys doing?
I mean, I try to get out of the pool and bandage myself, if that's doable.
Sure. Yeah, go ahead and give me a heal check.
That is a 53 out of 51.
53 out of 51. Do you want to use some fortune to make it a success?
Yeah, I'll spend a fortune to make it a success.
Okay, all right. So, let me see here. All right. So here's what you're capable of doing, Seamus. As you're kind of looking at it, you begin to somewhat bandage it over as best you can. And the wound is so bad that you are essentially just kind of holding your arm together. It is going to require surgery to be usable again. You can't use it now. It's just like kind of limp at your side. And as you're doing so, Bragadine, what are you doing?
In my loathsome rage, with my utter hatred of Slaneshi followers, I think about continue to ford my way through the pool, but if I see Marius and Seamus withdraw and retreat, I will, with a grimace, turn back around and head back to where they were.
Okay. As you leave the pool, you get out of its embankment. All three of you get 1 point of corruption. Enjoy. This is from touching the demonic ichor. So you just get to have it. There's no check.
Oh man,
no check involved.
I was hoping the lady's blessings that was helping me out.
Oh no. Oh no.
I'm at 6 points of corruption then. Just
your corruption was
Verified.
well. Your corruption was cleansed.
Oh,
Did you forget about that? Yes. So you're at 1 now.
Forget about that.
Yes.
Charlie is messy.
Yeah, that would have been bad.
The lady.
Not your heathen
yeah.
lady.
Yeah. Whoa. Bragadine draws his sword.
No. As all of you are gathering, the sisters are beginning to calm down, and they're looking at Seamus, several of them. If you will remember, the oldest was... I know this. I have it written down. Hema. And she's kind of like the de facto leader. Though when I say oldest, she's might be Marius's age. So, not exactly an old maid here. And she kind of meets Seamus's gaze as he is tending to himself. And she very timidly begins to walk towards you, Seamus.
And I would allow so as I'm trying to probably stay conscious.
Yeah.
I imagine this is, bleeding a lot.
You don't yell, get away from me! Get away from me!
Yeah, exactly. As she begins to approach, seeing your wound, she calls the other sisters over, and they very sheepishly come behind, keeping their distance from you, almost like you're a wild animal. Are you afflicted? Have you been corrupted by foul powers?
That took my fucking arm off.
You became something else.
That happens from time to time.
And she will look over towards the rest of you, Marius and Bragadine.
Yeah, I'm assuming I kind of walked over there with her, with the sisters.
Has he been possessed?
Oh, no. Sweet maidens, no. He This is a curse that he alone must bear. It is nothing for us to be afraid of. It is a gift, but a gift of God. But you know that all gifts sometimes have a price that us mortals pay poorly.
I've never heard of
be...
such a gift from, at least from any of our gods.
I beg of you, ladies, please. Trust in my words. He is a good man, and he will only achieve this terrifying form when innocents such as yourselves are at risk.
Well, it is not for me to judge. It is Shalia's mercy that we bestow upon all. And she moves over towards you, Seamus, and kind of outstretches her hands above your shattered, tattered arm. And she begins to chant. And as she does, the other two sisters begin to chant with her. And after a few minutes pass, your arm begins to tingle, and suddenly you can move your fingers. The wound doesn't just magically heal up. There's still an open wound. But it's almost as if the muscles and tendons have been reattached. And though there's a massive rent in your flesh, your critical wound has been removed by the mercy of Shalia.
My strong hand.
God damn it. You can use your sword arm once more. However...
You pet her face with your strong hand?
God damn it. However, if you take injury to that arm, you run the risk of re-tearing anything that has been put into place.
Mm-hmm.
Until you see a proper surgeon.
Okay. Alright. Thank you, sisters. And I'll kind of twirl my arm around, make sure, try to get, full range of motion in it as much as I can.
Yeah. And as you're doing that, they're kind of kneeled down next to the Ichor, and they are praying. And though none of you really recognize the words, you can tell that it is a prayer of release of some kind. And it's at this point that the three of you realize that there are 6 floating bodies in the Ichor that didn't used to be there, of the men that they traveled with. All of them butchered, pieces of them scattered. Many of them heads been removed, and unspeakable things done to their flesh before Marius took and Bragadine took swift vengeance upon them.
Fair maidens, I wish not to tax you, but both my associate Marius and myself have taken some minor injuries. I'm so glad that you saw this to our dear Seamus first, for he was the one of most need. But if you have a bit of your medical wisdom, or perhaps even a small blessing, I beg of you to grant that boon upon my associate Marius and then myself.
Of course. And this is the youngest one, Alda, comes up to you, Bragadine, and she's young. And she kneels down next to you and begins to bandage your wounds. And you receive 8 wounds back. It pays off to travel with a Sister of Shalia. Marius, are you even damaged?
Not with us, though.
That is true, Seamus. Marius is damaged.
Okay.
Damaged.
Marius, you will recover 6 as Ute the middle-aged one. I shouldn't say middle-aged. Not the leader, but not the youngest, approaches you and does a similar kind of treatment to your wounds. And the three of you are left with two directions. Back the whence you came, perhaps finding a different path, who knows? Or forward, somehow getting past this pool of ichor and ever onward.
Forward.
The choice is yours.
Always forward.
Were they
Get
just
forward.
praying over the ichor, or were they like...
They were praying for the corpses, for the dead men.
Okay.
You notice they are very
don't think
careful not to touch it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Don't think we have much of an option unless...
No,
think,
no, Marius. There were other passages behind us, of which we did hear sounds of something down them.
All I know is Seamus and I have always stuck to the main path. I do not know if these tunnels even interconnect to other portals on the other side of this lake, this pond.
So be it, Marius.
can-
If you
We can try to climb over the sides there, and perhaps we can each try to carry one of them on our back. Or we...
That's the
we
stupidest
we
idea
ford
I've
the-
ever heard.
Well, you know, take it from me, it's not the easiest carrying another person on their back while you climb. I've done it multiple times. And I look at both of them for a very long time.
Yes.
And then I,
Bragadine kind of looks off and just other directions. Doesn't really say anything.
or we can just try to forward the pond here.
We cannot set foot in this corruption. This is
Alright.
Hema speaking to you.
We can try to climb over the side there.
It is up to you, or you could carry us over. It doesn't appear to be that deep.
Also a good idea.
Lady Alda, here, let me. You are such a slight thing. It will be like I was carrying my sister back when we were younger. Here, I will carry you through this.
Okay, all right. How are you going to carry her? I'm curious now. Like,
First, Lady Alda.
Is she taller than him?
no. These are. I will say these three women are very slight. They're small.
Like a
Yeah.
sack of potatoes.
Yeah, they're
Now, ladies,
like the heaviest
like
one
5'3".
might weigh 100 pounds. They're small.
Bragadine's pretty strong, actually.
He is. Yeah, I mean, all of you are relatively like much stronger than the average man. So
Mistress.
I mean, I'm just thinking in terms of height, because Bragadine's not very tall, and so...
it's true.
You know.
That's one reason
you
why I'm
could-
asking how you're going to carry her.
How far out into the I'm doing air quotes water, the pool did I get into?
You got into. You didn't get too deep in. Marius got the deepest, and it was up to Marius' waist at the almost near the epicenter of the pool.
Fair
So for you, that would be a little bit above the waist.
lady. Yeah, that'd be almost to the lower chest.
Yeah.
Fair lady, what if you were to carefully walk and climb along the edge here? I will be here to catch you and help you along while you scamper upon the rubble. That way you will stay out of this disgusting substance.
I will
And-
scoop up him while he's talking and have her kind of on my shoulder,
Oh.
my right shoulder,
Yes.
kind of sitting on my shoulder,
Mm-hmm.
my right arm kind of balancing her with my pick on my back.
Mm-hmm.
I can probably carry another.
Oh. And,
Marius, then
I will pick
hear
up
that
the other
this-
one that Bragging's talking to.
oh,
I
yeah.
fear that even if I were to carry her like officer and a gentleman, her delicate rump would still get wet from the putrid substance.
Of course.
And as
May
as you say that, Ute comes up to you, Marius, and like you're like the strong man here. As you reach down and pick her up and put her on your other shoulder. Go and give me a strength check, Marius. Just for fun.
All right.
It's gonna be great.
Just for fun?
I know it is.
It's only like 200 pounds, you know?
It's
I
fine.
got this. Ooh, nice. I actually rolled an 11.
Okay. Yeah, easily.
Oh, yeah.
It is exactly like the strong man.
Marius at a rock concert.
Yeah, exactly. He's that guy, just balancing two women on his shoulders as he stands up and begins to wade in.
Bragadine will, Marius, let me take the lead.
Okay.
That way, if any more of these creatures appear, I can try to engage them while you get the women to safety.
Okay. Alda is still on the embankment, and she looks over at Bragadine, and then she looks up to Seamus because Seamus is tall as shit. And I do not mean to imply anything, but perhaps.
I guess you lucked
Seamus,
out.
must I say it myself? You are like twice my size. Grab the girl and let's go.
I guess you lucked out, lady. And I will, if possible, just like piggyback since I'm considerably taller than everyone else.
Yes, you are, and yeah, yes, you could easily do so. And she kind of scrunches up. She has to bunch up her skirt. Don't look, Bragadine. And she kind of bunches it up. You know, she's only like 15 or 16. It's fine. And then hops on to Seamus's back. And you begin to walk across. You are leading the way, Bragadine?
Yes.
Okay. Marius is in a bad position because he's holding two women. His perception is going to be nothing. So, Bragadine, give me a perception test. And Seamus, go ahead and give me a perception test at -10.
Ooh, I got a 21 out of 46.
Okay. And Bragadine, what'd you get?
Hold on, I just realized I didn't have my die. Let me grab it. Oh, we got a 33.
Okay, critical.
We needed.
All right, good. Bragadine, you are leading the way, and you're being very, very cautious after what happened earlier. This ichor is hot and warm. It would be soothing if it wasn't so morbid as you are passing by floating corpses of men, creatures. Remnants of the demonettes that you slew that have begun to almost bubble, and while they're not sizzling per se, it's almost like they're becoming more of the very substance you're standing in. And Bragadine, you're the first one to notice as you get to the midway point, halfway through this trudge, through this demonic essence. You see that the flow of the ichor from out of the holes in the sides of the tunnel quickens. More of it begins to spill out a little bit faster. And you glance up to your left, Bragadine. And Seamus, you actually wouldn't see this because you had to have a pretty high perception. Bragadine, you see blackness. There's a massive hole, and you can see nothing inside. It is empty of all light. And it's strange because it looks like the lights, the shadows cast from the rest of the tunnel appear to just be absent almost as if the light enters somewhere else. And Bragadine, you see as you begin to pass this point, a set of fingers curl around the side of the hole very, very quietly. They are gargantuan fingers. Then you notice that they have long, it looks like talons that have been painted almost like a purplish color. The skin is a gray, almost matte. Then another hand, very quietly at the edge of this hole as well. And what strikes you as odd, Bragadine, is they're both left hands. And then you see a right hand. And then you see another.
Four hands. 4 by this time.
There are 4 arms. And a large head begins to peek very carefully out of the darkness. And Bragadine, I need you to give me a cool test at -30.
Oh, shit.
The player knows what this is. We're using a fortune point. Let me mark that down. Hold on. -30.
Mm-hmm.
We got 26 under 40.
26 under 40. Bragadine, you almost cry out as your eyes lock with it, but you resist the urge to, and your mind does not snap at the sight of this creature. It has horns upon its head. You can't see the body. The face looks almost androgynous. Is it female? Is it male? Is it a beast? It's hard to tell. But there's something alluring about it, as the crest of this keeper of secrets,
God damn it,
pushes itself out of the hole and looks down upon you all. Bragadine, you have a chance here to do something. What would you like to do?
Would shouting or say anything take that action?
Yes, it would. And depending on what you say will depend on the next test that will be made.
I place my hand down at my belt, grasp my reliquary, and loudly, "Begone, thou Damon, for the lady herself protects me."
Okay. As you shout that out, I need
cast my yeah.
Okay. So you're going to actually summon the reliquary?
Let me roll a diamond. I have so few uses. Let me roll a diamond.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm not actually. We're not going to do that. We're actually going to. So I'll just, gentlemen, run. The demon of all demons is here to destroy us. And I will slightly move. I'll try to move between Marius and Seamus and the demon.
Okay. It's on the side of the tunnel. It is between 50 and 60 feet from you. You're not sure what its reach is. You only see the hands at the side and its head peeking through. It's horrifying. And as you did not mention for anyone to just run and not look to the side, curiosity gets the rest of you, and I need everyone else to make me cool tests at -30.
I said demon, bro. Come on.
Here comes a failure.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. I failed.
Would you want to re-roll it? I mean,
I mean, that's such
Damn
a
it,
low percentage
Seamus.
of passing.
Braggedy jumps in front of you, and you still fail.
It's a -30, bro.
It
Yeah, I
is.
still failed.
Okay.
Maris rolled a 20 out of 40.
Okay, you need 2 levels of success for this, so you're good. How bad was your failure, Seamus?
The lower one was a 61, and the -30 would have been a 34
Okay, all right. So it was
or
bad.
24.
It was real bad. Seamus, you take 2 points of corruption as your mind begins to twist and snap, and you are stunned in awe. However, depending on what the rest of the party does, I'm assuming we are going to enter into a skill challenge. And we're not going to fight the Keeper of Secrets. That's kind of what Bragadine alluded to. If you guys want to fight it, we can do this.
No.
But okay,
No.
So let's everybody go ahead and roll initiative, and we'll see what happens.
All right.
Got an 11.
An 11 for Seamus. All right, Maris.
Maris got a 15.
Ooh, wow, that's real good. And Bragadine.
13.
All right, Marius, Bragadine, Seamus. Cool. Right, Marius, you are first up. I'm assuming you're moving forward to get out of this pool.
Yeah, most likely this is the
Yes.
2 sisters.
It is difficult.
Man.
You're going to have to give me an athletics test.
Okay. So yeah, upgraded my athletics a lot lately. That is going to be a 31 out of 66.
31, 41. 3 levels of success. Okay, you're good. You're fine. As you with a burst of strength unheard of, you begin to pull your way forward, sludging through this ichor, as it almost feels like it's beginning to stick to your flesh, almost like it wants to keep you inside of this puddle. Who knows what's foul, disgusting evil you have been trudging through, and you pull yourself free, and you are at the embankment on the opposite side. Would you like to do anything else?
Just as free action, probably just cry out to everyone, "Run! Don't look at it!" And yeah.
Are you still holding the sisters, or do you put them down?
DM question, I guess.
Yes.
Do I get the feeling that I'd be faster with them on my shoulder? Or do I think they'd be slower? They'd slow us down.
So mechanically, they have the same speed as you. Now they don't have the same skills that you guys do. So do with it as you will.
I think I'm going to stick with them on my shoulders
Okay,
right now.
you're still kind of holding them. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
This
This is going to be great. We're going to master blast with this. It's going to be fantastic.
Hell yeah.
All right.
Run as quick as you can.
So Bragadine. No, excuse me. Yes, Bragadine. You're next.
Can I see Seamus?
Yes, and you can see that Seamus is almost locked in place. The sister on his back is shivering, shaking, her eyes clenched shut. The sisters knew better than to look. The rest of you, not so much. So, you're free to do as you will, Bragadine. Know that you can tell, Bragadine, that Seamus is locked almost like his eyes have glazed over. And you've seen this look before, not too long ago. And you get the idea that Seamus is in a state of catatonic bliss.
Would I know if he would respond to anything, like if I spoke to him?
It's up to you to try. You don't have a ton of experience with this. Or you could just leave.
Close is he to me?
I will say, you put yourself, you purposely went back, so I would say you're within arm's reach of him.
I kind of reach over. For my free action, I give him a light, non-damaging slap.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Kind of really just kind of like a, hey, what's going on?
Yeah.
And but by doing that, I'm pulling his head to look me right in the face, even if I have to like use my thumb to hold his eyelid open. And in my most Bretonian noble to a peasant voice, Seamus, you must snap out of this. Our lives and the lives of innocents depend on you. This is just another foul beast. You have one of many that you've slain without even a care. Come back to me. Come back to Marius.
Okay.
Get the heck out of this pool.
Give me a leadership test.
Okay. We're gonna use a fortune point because I just rolled 100.
Oh yes. Please use
really
it.
didn't want to use these this quick. Yeah.
Please use them. Use them early.
That would
Get them all out of the way.
have like Seamus runs towards the keeper of secrets. No, that's come on, baby girl. Oh, it's a 44.
Okay.
That's my French laugh right there.
All right.
44 out of 80. So
as Bragadine begins to giggle like the chef from Little Mermaid, Seamus, you actually snap to your senses as Bragadine's rousing speech and somewhat creepy laughter brings you back to your mortal coil, and you have your senses. However, Bragadine, in so doing, you have forfeited your right to move. And Seamus, it is your turn now. What would you like to do?
I believe he told me to run, so
He did.
I'm running.
So you see, and then you look over and see Marius. Go ahead and give me an athletics test.
A 37 out of 57.
Okay. Yeah, 2 levels of success. Very good. As you begin to, and you follow shortly after Marius. However, Bragadine is left standing there as he is beginning to turn and move to follow the rest of you. And the creature opens its mouth, and a tongue about the size of you, Bragadine, slithers out across its face and licks around its chin. Yes! And one of its gargantuan arms lashes forward. And I need you to make me a very important dodge roll, Bragadine.
dodge.
Yes, a dodge.
All right. Hold on. I'm going to legitimately pray, lady, please bless this dice. All right. I'm not even looking. Wait. We're going to use our last fortune point.
Okay, use your last one.
These are all like 90s or 100. Okay. Come on. 22! No more fortune points. I got a 22.
You lucky
still
bastard.
Under like a 28, but yeah.
I had 7 levels of success on this. I thought I was going to get to kill Bragadine, but this gargantuan hand just cascades over the top of you, and the limb just keeps going and going and going. And you duck down, almost submerging yourself in the ichor, and it passes overhead very swiftly. More swiftly than a creature its size should be. And you pull your head back out, and the creature pulls back and just smiles with an all too wide grin. And we are somewhat out of initiative. Well, we'll keep on just until Bragadine gets out of harm's way, at least. So, Marius, what would you like to do at this point?
Marius is just probably, I would think we're just running.
Okay.
I'm looking to see, I'm assuming the path as normal, just as a straight path.
Yes. I will say, yeah. And as you keep moving down this tunnel, it appears like it might be widening again. That very subtle widening, and you're starting to notice that the floor feels spongy. And though you don't have the time to glance down, you can see that on some of the walls there are like these pink and purple tendrils, almost like veins, or roots on a plant that are growing along the edges of the tunnel and probably on the floor itself as you're moving overhead. Bragadine, it would be your turn at this point. I'm assuming you would like to flee. Correct?
Dead.
He died. The keeper snatches him up and bites his head off. God damn it.
No.
Bragadine.
Oh, I didn't. I'm sorry. You broke up there. I apologize.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm assuming you would like to leave now?
I'm not engaged, am I?
No, you are not considered engaged. So if you give me an athletics test, we'll see if you make it out of this pool.
No, wait, before Bragadine can do that. Have Marius and Seamus passed me where they're on, or am I still between them and the Keeper's Secret?
Yeah, they're out of the pool and they're making a mad dash. They're keeping going.
Okay.
So
Let's do it. We're gonna do it. Come on. All right, viewers, I'm out of fortune points. I got a 6.
okay.
I got a 6. Yeah.
Good. Very good. As almost as you dodge death as the claw passed overhead, you right yourself and begin pulling yourself up out of this ichor that's just sticking to your body. And as you pull free, you keep running. And Bragadine, since you're the one farthest in the back, you glance over your shoulder and you see the thing attempting to pull itself out of the hole. But it can't. It can't quite get there. It's trying, but it's just too big.
Bragadine wishes he had one of Marius's grenades right now.
And when you say that, you see it grab a hold of its shoulders with its right arms on its left shoulders, and you hear a disgusting tearing and popping noise. And then the thing begins to slither its way slowly as it dislocates parts of its body and is going to spill out in this tunnel eventually. The three of you are running for quite some time, I'm sure, before you finally decide to call it safe as you can be, as you do not hear the demon following.
How long did we run?
As long as you want to be. I will say probably within your panic at least 10-15 minutes before you kind of realize Bragadine's caught up at this point, and you can tell that everyone's accounted for.
Is the room around us even more tendrily?
As you are glancing around, now that you are out of danger, you're able to see, yes, in fact, the floor appears to be completely coated with this. It almost feels like you're walking on flesh. It's pink and purple veins. It's not writhing. It's just disturbing. The sisters are very, very disgusted at its touch.
We set him down, I guess.
I mean, are you going to carry these two women on your shoulders the rest of the way through this tunnel? I mean, we could do it.
No, probably he would set him down.
Yeah.
Set him down. If they were getting down, I didn't know.
Yeah. Okay. And you have successfully escaped the Keeper of Secrets. The path is still before you. I'm assuming we're all still just going to kind of collect ourselves and move forward. And as you begin to move forward, a few hours pass. And some interesting things happen. in those few hours. First off, Marius, as you're walking, you start to notice that there are side tunnels, as there were before. Most of them appear to be chock full of these tendrils to the point that you can't see the other side. But some of them are open. And occasionally, you see a too tall figure standing inside the opening of them, Marius. Tall, black, a strange hat, and a plague doctor's mask, standing, staring, looking. Seamus.
I would probably.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Go ahead.
I would probably inform the rest of the party what I saw, because I know I've told Seamus before.
Mm-hmm.
I'd probably just be like, seeing the doctors again.
And they never move into the tunnel itself. And it always appears to be the same one. Just over and over again. And as you kind of inform everyone else, Seamus, you have been seeing your father. His guts spilled from where he's been disemboweled. One of his eyes drooping from its socket. His flesh grayed and decayed. Calling out to you. Asking why you left him behind. Bragadine, you see your sister. White. Pale. Dead. And your uncle. And your brother. And your father.
Fuck that guy.
All of them. Even your mother. Holding a silver platter. With her head resting in it.
Is her head on, so she's like, it's her decapitated body holding a platter with her?
Yes, it is.
Oh.
All of you are seeing horrifying, terrible, terrible things. I need everyone to give me cool checks.
Straight cool. It's just a straight cool.
Yep, straight cool.
Okay.
Ooh, close.
Thanks.
Got a
Mary's
48 out of 54.
38 out of
Mary's
54. Okay.
48.
Oh, 48. Okay. Marius?
Mary's rolled an 18 out of 70.
Okay, you are fine. And Bragadine?
Bragadine's already been traumatized by the situation. He rolled a 17 out of 70.
Okay, all right. Marius and Bragadine, you keep it together to the point that at certain points it's almost like you can tell this isn't real, that these are illusions. This is reality fragmenting. There's several times, Seamus, that you almost lose yourself in these visions. You can feel your mind turning. Perhaps it's the after effects of the demon that almost snatched you earlier. But the sisters lay a hand on your shoulder, Seamus. Hema does. And you feel relief. And you don't do anything stupid. And all three of you begin to move forward. The sisters begin to chant to themselves. And somehow, though these illusions sometimes move close, sometimes further away, they never get within a certain radius of any of you. Or perhaps it's a certain radius of the Holy Sisters with you. But hours pass like this. Until you start to hear something up ahead. Sounds like bells. Chimes, perhaps. And you guys would start to notice that the tendrils that you see are beginning to... There's patches of them that are black. Not the purple, pink hue that they normally are. And then some of these black splotches, you notice, are becoming a mottled green. They look sticky, slick, almost like pus. And before you realize it, you're in a tunnel full of foul-smelling, disgusting decay. And the bells are getting louder. Up ahead,
Seamus and I recognize the bells.
Marius and Seamus, almost as if a nightmare is being relived, you recognize these chimes. And several hundred feet ahead, you see around 10-foot tall creatures moving forward, mumbling to themselves. You know that they're counting. They have a bell in one hand, chiming it as they count over and over. A single eye, one obscenely horn coming out of their green, disgusting skin. Flies buzzing around them as the plague bearers of Nurgle are approaching. And in their wake are 15, 20 men, but these men look diseased, almost cadaver-like. Some of them holding in them weapons, some of them not. Some of them you're not sure how they are alive. But they are moving down this tunnel in your direction. Who is in the back?
How far? How far away?
About 200-300 feet ahead.
I think I might still be in the back.
Okay. Bragadine, as this is happening, you glance backwards because you hear something strange. And you hear giggling, Bragadine. You get a strange smell. And then almost an equal distance behind you, Bragadine, from the plague bearers in front of you, you see creatures on strange legs. Lithe forms, crab claws for hands, as demonettes begin to move out of the darkness, accompanied with a fair number of men and women that are in almost no clothing, that have ripped at their flesh, and they begin to call out to one another, and they're calling out ahead. And I need to know what the Fellowship is going to do in this moment, as you are sandwiched in between two of the powers of the Dark Gods.
Once the guys that are in front of us get within 200 feet, I'm going to start popping off until we have to roll initiative.
Okay. Before
With my
you do,
scope.
yeah, before you do so, Seamus, everybody go ahead and give me perception tests.
Perception. That is memorized by
Mary's got a 57 out of 54.
Not good. Okay.
Yeah. I'll use a fortune to make it at least a success.
All right. And Seamus?
50 out of 56.
Not the best. And Bragadine?
55 out of 70.
Okay.
74. 55 out of 74, actually.
Okay. All right. Bragadine. As you're glancing around, and you're the first one to realize, Bragadine, that you are in mortal peril from the front and behind. And you glance around looking for some means of escape. You notice there are several tunnels off to the sides. With that many success levels, you can tell that 2 of the tunnels are choked and clogged a few feet in. But there are 2 that appear to go somewhere. One to your left, one to your right. If you guys are in the center of this tunnel room, you can make it to either. But it's up to you if you choose to do so, or if you would choose to do battle. I leave it with you.
Marius, Seamus. Quick, this is the way out. Hurry, hurry. And I point to the one on the left.
Okay, he points to it. Marius, Seamus.
Be worried about the sisters, and so he'd probably at least try to take the opportunity to go a different direction if he could.
Okay.
Not get in combat.
All right.
If there's an option. Yeah.
This is an option. As you begin to move towards the left, you see that this tunnel is one of the slimmer tunnels. It's only about 15 feet wide. It does go all the way up. However, as you move towards the tunnel, you hear the plague bearers begin to scream out praises of their grandfather. And there's a gnashing of footfalls, and they begin to charge. At the same time, behind you, you hear screeches and cries of ecstasy as the followers of Slaanesh surge forward. And they are moments from clashing as all of you enter into this tunnel. As you are moving forward, you can tell that there are bodies that you're walking over. Dead men. Long dead men. You keep moving. Trying to escape the sea. Yes.
Yeah, how, not, like, when you say long dead, like ancient men? Like skeletons? Or
like,
something like that, or is it?
They're decomposing. They're not like skeletons, but they are becoming jelly. As you're stepping into them, your feet almost like push into their bodies. And it's very disgusting.
Are they Imperials?
You can't tell. You can't tell what or who these people once were. It would be impossible at this point.
Hurry! Hurry!
Are we surging forward, or are we taking our time?
Yeah, I'm assuming we're moving forward as quickly as possible.
Okay.
With the sisters in between us.
All right. And as you are moving forward, I need a marching order. So who's in the front?
Bragadine is taking up the back.
Okay.
Shield up, sword out, half looking, glancing behind him every so often. Really just trying to, yeah.
All right. And Marius?
I'm assuming Marius is in front.
All right. And then Seamus, are you behind Marius?
Yeah, 'cause Marius has the dark vision.
He does. I will say it is in the side tunnel. It's almost like darkness. It's not illuminated as well as the larger tunnel. So Marius can see decent. The rest of you are going to have penalties for sight. Unless you decide to light a torch. That's up to you, though.
Not at the moment.
Okay. As we are
Probably
moving
moving too quickly to light a torch, yeah.
Yeah. As you keep moving forward, you do hear the calls and screams of battle behind you. I need everyone to roll me stealth test, actually.
Not very good. Not Bragadine
Got it on
pass.
the money. 42 out of 42.
That's good. And Marius?
So I rolled a question. I got a 17. I had pretty good. I rolled a 17 out of 46. But I also have Tunnel Rat,
You do.
which gives me some bonuses.
It does.
I also have Stealth Underground
Yes, you do.
in addition.
You're
So I
you're
don't
fine.
know
You're
what
more
that-
than fine.
Okay.
Marius is like
Okay.
goes invisible for a moment.
Okay.
Bragadine, what'd you roll?
Bragadine is wearing armor, plate, chain, and stumbling around in the dark. And he rolled an 81 out of 31.
Yes, indeed. Bragadine's making a lot of noise, but at the same time, Marius got like a crazy amount of success levels on this, so I'll give it a wash.
69. Super
Yeah,
crit.
so he, as you are moving forward, you hear Cause and Bragadine. You look back over your shoulder and you see a couple of those demonettes kind of curl around the corner and look into the darkness, but they don't appear to see you. And then within moments, a plague bearer is upon them, and they are in a bloody battle. And all of you keep moving away, and you successfully escape the chaotic horde that will almost set upon you. You keep moving this direction for a little time, and you notice, Marius, since you're up front, that it looks like the tunnel's curving to the right. And after about 30 minutes or so, you're moving and you see the larger tunnel that you were in before, or at least you hope it's the one you were in before. And you get close to the entrance into the tunnel itself. I'm assuming you're being cautious, Marius?
Yeah. Be cautious.
You approach and you kind of hush everyone. And you get to the edge and you kind of look out to left and right. The floor is that disgusting green, tarry, almost substance now. And as you look to the left, you see something, Marius. It's off in the distance, but you see a light at the end of the tunnel. You are so very close. It's a few hundred yards away. But that is most certainly your exit. However, there appears to be something between you and the end. As there is what appears to be ankle-deep fluid, almost as if the ground has begun to ooze, similar to the pool you passed through, but this more of a greenish neon yellow color. It smells foul, and it coats the entirety of this tunnel all the way to the door. And you also see, strangely enough, what looks like a field of corpses, all of their hands kind of reaching up. Something about it looks eerily familiar. You might have come this way before, very, very long ago.
We heading back to Napone, bro?
Who knows?
You know.
Oh.
As you step out into the tunnel itself, everyone, I'm assuming, begins to follow. The sisters are in a state of almost like breaking. They are not used to the horrors that all of you are witnessing, as well as you guys have. And
Is Seamus's money still there?
Seamus, why don't you give me a perception test?
Ooh, it's a 45 out of 56.
Seamus, you see past the field of corpses somehow with your elven eyes, I guess. You do see a small pouch that looks like the fluid is kind of grown around it, but it might be your coin pouch. Who knows? Who knows?
The statue, man.
There's a lot of things in between here and now. However, as you enter into the main part of the tunnel, you don't have a lot of time to ponder this, as all of you begin to hear a buzzing noise coming from the opposite direction of where you intend to go.
Okay, so from the other side of the
Yeah.
tunnel.
So essentially from behind you, if you're looking at the exit.
I'm assuming we're going to be moving as quick as possible.
Okay.
If we hear this buzzing.
Let's go ahead and we will keep our previous initiative order because we're going into our next skill challenge.
Okay.
As all of you have at this point noticed that this is it. This is the end. You're going to get the hell out of here. That buzzing noise gets louder and louder, and you also feel the ground moving as if something gargantuan is moving somewhere. And then you see coming out of the darkness, Marius, you before anyone else due to your heightened vision, you see these massive flies with serrated blades for arms tucked up underneath them. They are disgusting. They're the size of horses, and there are plague bearers riding them. And you see 10 or 12 immediately, and there's more to follow as they're flying towards all of you, counting as they're chiming their bells. And Marius, what would you like to do to progress the skill challenge?
The classic movie scene, I'm just gonna yell out, "Run!" and I'm gonna be ushering everyone ahead of me, so Marius is the last person.
Okay.
To make sure.
All right. Why don't you give me a leadership role, Marius? Let's do that.
Okay. Ooh, I gotta re-roll that.
Oh, take it.
Oh, much better. It was a 92, and now it's a 9 out of 53.
Okay, very good. Very good. As you say so, I'm assuming everyone else is beginning to move forward?
Yes.
Yes, you all are conceding to this action. So yes, everyone begins to move forward. Marius, you're the last one as you turn on your heel and begin to follow. Everyone's going to get a little bit of a boost on some of their rolls here as you keep going. Bragadine, you are the next in line for the skill challenge. What would you like to do?
All right, so we've got, did you say 15?
Or more. You see 15 of these plague bearers riding gargantuan carnivorous-looking flies buzzing through the air.
I can picture something from Star Trek Troopers right now. How far away are they?
They're closing the distance quickly. Let's
Okay,
put it
and
like that.
So, and Marius is pushing us all along.
Yeah, Marius has kind of got the rest of you, and you all have moved past him, and he's turned at this point and moving in, falling in behind you.
I will get behind the women and make sure they're moving along, helping them along. Keep looking over my shoulder, ready to turn around and fight and to defend them.
Okay.
So basically, it's just trying to help them along. I will not run in front of them. It's not chivalrous. Gotta do that.
Okay. What would you like to roll for the skill challenge? Or are you conceding your turn?
No. Let me role play it out here. Ladies, come on, pep up. Marius will keep us safe until we can get just to the. You know what? I would like to do a perception check to see if there's like an exit, a hole.
Okay.
Place we can hide. How to get out of here.
Give me a perception test.
All right. Okay, it's not great, but that is actually still. I got 68 under 74.
Okay. And you have a 74 despite you missing an eye?
Correct.
Okay. All right, good. All right. Bragadine, you begin to glance forward and you see that it's a literal field of corpses, almost like statues, up ahead. And you pick out a path, essentially, and you begin to usher the ladies forward. And Seamus is more than likely ahead of everyone. And you're able to kind of direct him which path to take. There are several paths through this field, and you have chosen correctly as you begin to move forward. And that obstacle is almost passed through. Seamus, it is your turn.
So are we in like another side tunnel now? Or
you're in the main tunnel. You're moving. You can see the exit ahead. You're moving very, very quickly. The plague bearers riding the massive flies are almost upon you. Yeah, that's all I can say. And you can also feel the ground rumbling beneath your feet.
There's nothing in front of me, though, like between me and the end of the tunnel?
Not that you can see, no. Okay. It is still it's at least another 100 yards before you're going to get to it, but you guys are moving at a very quick speed.
Yeah, I mean, I'll probably just double time my speed.
Okay, go ahead and give me an athletics test then.
In an attempt to get way ahead so I can turn around and then, Overwatch. Athletics, it's a 51 out of 57.
Barely got it as you kind of put on a little burst of speed. And it's difficult because you are in like ankle deep sludge, and you begin to just power through and move forward. You manage to get outside of the field of corpses and a few more paces before glancing over your shoulder and seeing that these creatures are like above you at this point, kind of flying about here and there. Marius, it is your turn. You are in the back. You guys are almost home free. What would you like to do?
All right, let's see. I am unsure. Besides maybe athletics.
I mean, you can.
I'm trying to,
if you want.
Yeah, I guess I'm just trying to catch up. I guess if I was the last one.
Okay.
To the rest of the group.
All right.
If there's something is there anything I can like? I guess they're flying, so I can't really hinder them. Yeah, I mean, I'm probably just catching back up. With the group.
Yeah, go ahead and give me an athletics roll.
That is 45 out of 66.
45 out of 66. All right, good. You do push your way forward. I'm assuming you're not trying to pass the sisters?
No, I wouldn't pass the sisters, but
okay.
At least catch up to them.
Yeah, you do catch up easily. And you're behind them, kind of ushering them forward. And with that many success levels, you guys are almost home free. Except, for all the buzzing, it's been hard to tell, but there are 2 large tunnels at the end of this one, off to the left and the right. Almost as if this tunnel makes a T. And you see as 2 figures, huge, 20, 25 feet tall. It looks like a giant blob, green molten flesh, as this huge creature comes spilling out into the tunnel. It's got a massive cleaver in its hand, rusted over. The smell is horrid, almost as your eyes begin to almost burn just from the stench wafting off of these things. There are horns on the side of their heads, a smile that is far, far too wide. As 2 great unclean ones look down the hall as you guys are about to leave, to flee, to escape this place of hell and death. And I need everyone to give me dodge rolls.
Alright.
Oh, Jesus, I passed. Oh, thank God.
Oh, nice. Marius rolled a 13 out of 70.
Alright, and Seamus?
17 out of dodge 42.
Okay. And Braggadine?
18 out of 28.
Out of 28? Okay. You guys are all moving forward, and you see the one on the left, and then it reels back, and then chucks its cleaver end over end, and this thing is gigantic. It's the size of a ballista as it becomes smashing down the tunnel towards you. All of you are able to dodge aside the blow as it comes tumbling past. Easily would have killed you in a single hit as you all scramble aside, the sisters included. And as you do, the foul demon to the right goes and then begins to vomit across all of you. Marius, you have a choice here.
Okay.
You're the only one who it doesn't coat. I will give you the option to shield one of the sisters, if you so choose. But you will be taking this.
Can I shield all the sisters, bro?
I'll give you 2 of them. I'll give you 2 of the 3.
I want all.
I'll give you 2.
All right. Yeah. You
Okay.
know Marius well. He's yeah.
You get to the edge of the tunnel, Marius, at the edge of the door, the shimmering, opaque entryway, as you've just escaped the one blow, and you can see that if you stay moments longer, all of you are going to die. As these gigantic demons, the aura emanating off them is horrendous, and this disgusting ichor spills forth from this gurgling gullet of this great unclean one and spills across all of you. And I need everyone to give me endurance checks now at -30.
Hell yeah. I failed.
Oh, yes.
Marius got a 34 out of 70.
Okay.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Out of 30, minus 30 would 34 out of 40.
All right. You're good. Okay.
That's good.
Not as good, but Seamus?
I got a 46 out of 37.
Okay. Not as good either. And Braggadine?
I got a 46 out of 36.
Okay. All of you take 2 points of corruption.
Hell yeah.
And you are coated in green acidic bile that has maggots crawling in it, and these maggots are the size of like a baseball, and they begin crawling and digging into your flesh as you're kind of peeling them away. Marius, you managed to shield 2 of the sisters from the blast, but the third, Ute, is coated in these creatures, and she falls back screaming as they burrow into her flesh, and she is quickly dead immediately. The rest of you take 10 wounds that bypasses armor and toughness. Does anyone drop to 0?
Nah.
Seamus drops to 1.
Okay, you lucky bastard. Alright, as this happens, all of you recover your recognizance as quickly as you can and begin pushing forward as you pass one after the other through the doorway. That's where we're going to take our first break.